I'll jump to the Foreign Minister of Kosovo, Mr. Konjufcës. What's your comment on that? Are you happy with the document that is not signed, or would you prefer it to be signed? What is your take on the agreement and its implementation generally?
I cannot go directly to your question without first thanking Croatia and our very good friend Gordon for gathering us in the wonderful city of Dubrovnik. Thank you, Gordon. We're having a good time here and very important discussions. And I'm happy to be together with such distinguished panelists here. Regarding dialogue with Serbia and the agreement, I think that we hoped we had an agreement. For sure, it was not signed. We were ready to sign it. Our Prime Minister Kurti was explicitly, expressing his willingness to sign this agreement, but it was refused, I think, by Serbia, and this was the precise turn, when also, mediators thought how they would adjust with this new situation, because I think that originally, genuinely, it was not conceived like that. It was transformed later within this status as an agreement. So much more as a kind of it had the form of a kind of a gentleman's agreement, but it was, of course, in the written form, not signed, but commitments, as Mr. Sorensen is explaining. We were not happy with that. We thought that it should be an international agreement which puts on you a specific obligations to fulfill. At the end, mediators just put it in the official web page of European Union External Affairs, and they said that this is agreement. And you have to fulfill it.
Sometimes you have agreements that are signed, but they are not worth anything because both parties or one of the parties does not want to fulfill it. And sometimes you have maybe agreements that are a gentleman's agreement, or think of the European Turkey Statement, which was also not a contract in this way, but it worked, at least for a while. So if we move away from the formal question of it being signed or not, how does it work?
It is not working, to be honest. These parts that Mr. Sorensen was just mentioning is just it is not the core, I would say, of agreement. The core of agreement, and how all of us understood it, it should be named properly. And how we should name it, it's a kind of a de facto recognition of Kosovo by Serbia. Not a legal de jure, but it's a kind of a agreement with which Serbia accepts that Kosovo is an entity which exists. Even not accepting it, it has all of the elements of the state, because from the starting of accepting membership in international organization, not excluding here also United Nations membership, because it is said in all of organizations, when you apply there as a country and you get the membership there as a state, Serbia should come in terms with that and accepting that.
Which didn't
all
work.
of documents which Kosovo produces, from administrative documents up to the certificates of the goods which move between border of Kosovo and Serbia, all it should be it was accepted by Serbia. When it comes to implementation, then the idea was, because the contradiction were so high, that the mediators thought that in order to have trust, to build trust, and to have an implementable agreement, we have to sequence it and they went to a kind of a, let's say, annex of the agreement, which was sequencing plan.
What step in the implementation comes after the other? That's what you mean by sequencing.
Yeah, no, it's like 11 points are there in original agreement, and 11 points. What comes first, and the starting point, and then in what we move in later stages. It was conceived in the sequencing plan. Now, our interpretation and our idea is that Serbia didn't like it, because Serbia, I think, they thought that the agreement was reducible to the formation of the Serbian Association of Serbian Municipalities in Kosovo. It's not like that. It was first, we found a new register. We found a new register in this, and this is a self-management of interests of Serbian community in Kosovo. Is the 7th point there in the original agreement. But you have there also, you have to bear in mind also that in let's say, in the preamble, which is very important, of this agreement, it is stated that Kosovo and Serbia will relate with each other as countries through this United Nations Charter of sovereign rights, of equal sovereign rights as countries. Of course, country is not mentioned there, but you know, it's implicit in all of this.
Thank you very much.